आम सुंदर हमारे यार लखन को जिया लल के
श्याम सुंदर हमारो यार लखन को जिया लल के
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 श्याम सुंदर. Whatever comes from him as his prasad, we will accept it with the prasad buddhi. तेरी कृपा तो कृपा है प्यारी, तेरा कोप भी कृपा है प्यारी. Kripaluji Maharaj writes that God's grace is also a blessing. And his anger is also a blessing. Anything that comes from him is always a blessing. So this attitude the devotee that develops becomes very dear to God. As somebody said, if you have a problem situation, is it good for you or is it bad for you? If it is good for you, then why worry? If it is bad for you, then can you solve it or can you not solve it? If you can solve it, then why worry? If you cannot solve it, then why worry? Just accept it because you can't solve it. So why worry in any case? When we decide that the whole world is in the hands of God, then we decide that all I need to do is put in my best efforts, and after that, whatever happens, I will take it as His grace. Narad Ji in the Bhakti Darshan writes, Lok hanau chinta na karya niveditatma loka vedatvat. Even if you have a lok hani, a reversal in the world, don't worry. Niveditatma. See it as God's grace. If your son insulted you, don't let your temperature go high. God has shown me the reality of this world. He is helping me develop vairagya. So see the silver lining in every situation and stay at peace. Then he says, Gatavyataha. Untroubled. My devotees who are untroubled, they are very dear to me. The idea is that you can be in the storm, but don't let the storm be inside you. Then your sadhana is very special. Sadhana doesn't mean that everything outside is all right and now I am undisturbed. Sadhana means that everything is going wrong and still I am undisturbed. Where there's a reason for the mind to become angry, but I am not angry. There's a reason for the mind to be attached, but I am not attached. There's a reason for pride, but I am not proud. That is the real sadhana, the real quest. And such an ability is very pleasing to God. So whenever you can't control the situation, choose not to get agitated. If your boss is behaving rudely, either you can lose your sleep over it, or you can put it in God's hands. If this is what God wants, I will learn to accept serenely. And then he says, Sarvarambha Parityagi. My devotee is free from selfishness in all undertakings. The attitude between material consciousness and spiritual consciousness is this. Material consciousness is about my needs, my comforts, my interest, my security. So we see ourselves as the center of the universe. The whole universe should fulfill my needs. And if it doesn't, then there's something wrong with it. And in spirituality, we decide, I am not the enjoyer, I am the servant. The universe is not for me, I am for the sake of the universe. It's not about extracting my comforts. It's about how well I can serve in my profession, in my relationships, in my family, in my non-profit, in everything. How can I serve best? This attitude of service is foundational to unselfishness. So the Padma Puran, it says, Dasa bhutamidam tasya jagat sthavara jangamam Sriman Narayana Swami jagatam prabhurishvara. It says there is one God and everything else is servant to that God. The sun and moon are serving him. The earth is also serving him. All of material energy is serving him. Now, the constitutional position of the soul is in service of the Supreme Soul. But out here in material consciousness, we wish to be the master, the Swami, the enjoyer. But what do you do in material life? You still keep serving. You have to serve the home department, your wife, or the wife has to serve the husband. In any case, you have to serve the children. You have to serve your old parents. You have to serve in Oracle, in Google, or wherever. You can't get away from service. People ask me, Swamiji, why did you quit your corporate job? I say, I didn't want to serve the Tatas. I said, I'll rather serve God. But that is a choice that very few people get by the blessings of God. But internally you understand that I am the servant. And then you become free from selfishness. It is said 2 syllables, when adopted, will bind you in Maya. 3 syllables, when adopted, will liberate you from Maya. Dvayaksharam tu bhaven mrityur, trayaksharam brahma shashvatam, mameti tu bhaven mrityur, namameti brahma shashvatam. Mera, mera, mera. This is the bondage. Mera nahi, namameti. This will liberate you. So Sri Krishna says that devotee who is sarvarambha parityagi, free from selfishness, is very dear to me. Let us move on to verse 17. Yo narishyati nadveshti,
यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि
na shochati na kankshati,
न शोचति न काङ्क्षति
shubha shubha parityagi,
शुभाशुभ परित्यागी
bhaktiman sachame priyah.
भक्तिमान् स मे प्रियः
Translation: those who neither rejoice in mundane pleasures nor despair in worldly sorrows, who neither lament for any loss nor hanker for any gain, who renounce both good and evil deeds. Such persons who are full of devotion are very dear to me. So, na rishyati, na dveshti. They neither rejoice in worldly pleasures, nor do they hate worldly discomfort. They become like the eagle. We have J.K. Yoga has an ashram in Delhi, just next to the National Agricultural Institute. So when we stand in the veranda, it's one of the few places in Delhi where you've got all greenery in front. In COVID time, I was there for 2.5 months, and we go to the roof and see the drama. So all the tens of thousands of birds from the greenery, they go to Delhi for their meal in the morning, and the evening they are returning. But the best drama is between the eagle and the crows. The eagle is a big bird. The crows are little pesky creatures. But these crows, they try to dive bomb the eagle. They want to go and hit the eagle. So their maneuverability is more because they are smaller in size than the eagle and they want to come and hit. But the eagle has this quality. It doesn't engage with them. It just lifts itself higher. And when they try and come, it lifts itself higher. And when they try and again come, it goes even higher until the crows give up. Likewise, there will be politics in the office. There will be people who will try and pull you into rumor mongering. Either you can quarrel with them, why did you say this, why did you do that? Or you the eagle, you keep lifting yourself higher and higher and higher. Now some people, they behave like the crow. And then they are always agitated about something or the other. Somebody is not behaving as per their likes and dislikes, or the weather is not how they wanted it, or the temperature, the rain has not come when it was supposed to come, or they are stuck in a traffic jam, and why in the world did the traffic jam ever happen? But they fail to realize that they themselves are the cause of their suffering. It is like that gentleman who came to office every day in the office at lunchtime. He would open his tiffin and say, "Oh no, cheese sandwiches again." So every day he would say, "Cheese sandwiches again." His colleague said, "Why don't you ask your wife to pack tomato sandwiches?" He said, "I don't have a wife, I pack them myself." So we are creating our problems by having the attitude of the crow and permitting to get agitated over little things. An enlightened person turns over the problems to God and says, "Oh God, I have done what I could. I'm a limited ability person. Now I'll leave it for you to decide and to adjudicate. If you wish to give me bitter fruit, I'll gladly take it." There has been a Sufi, a lady Sufi saint called Rabia Basri in Arabia. And initially she was a slave girl. Those days where they used to have slavery. So her master would mistreat her terribly. And once he discovered her praying to the Lord that, "Please take care of my master, do good to him, may my master be blessed." And the master heard and was shocked. How come she is saying like this? He realized that she's got such a saintly nature that he has been hurting her and she is still free from malice. So he released her. She became free and went on to become a great saint. So this Sri Krishna says that those who are able to free themselves from rejoicing in worldly gain and lamenting over worldly reversals. Again, he further says, na shochati, na kankshati, who neither lament for any loss nor hanker for any gain. One person created his garden lot and it got infested by dandelions. Now, those who love gardening find dandelions to be very irritating because apparently they are weeds, although they do seem pretty attractive, but they are not part of the regular routine. So he wrote to the horticultural department what to do to get rid of dandelions. They made a suggestion. He tried and wrote back that they are still there. They gave a second suggestion. He tried, then he wrote back. After they had given 5 suggestions, he wrote back again. They suggested to him, try getting used to them. So if you can learn to get used to them. Now some people are even fighting with God. Oh God, why don't you listen to me? I was praying to you that I need my health to improve. Well, it is possible that God heard your prayer but decided that this is not the right time. Maybe He said you need to burn some of your karmas. Or maybe He said you need to change your mindset and then I'm going to listen. Or maybe He said that in this difficulty or hardship, your soul is getting purified, you please bear with it.